mode here, Private. Tuck into this alley. We can keep a low profile here until we get our movement orders. Covenant are moving troops all over New Mombasa tonight, so we don't want to get halfway to our objective and then have to backtrack. Yeah, kid, I'd prefer to be moving too, but sometimes you can understand that not every moment of being a soldier has been shooting or getting shot at. Sometimes it's both just a lot of sitting with your own thoughts. Thankfully, you got me and my winning personality to keep you company. Boring.
Private, let me ask you something. If Command ordered you to scout a Covenant anti-air turret located a few clicks north of your current platoon, and to do just that until told otherwise, would you start getting antsy and then start picking off the first alien you saw after a couple hours? No. You'd sit there till your ass grew roots and watch every move the Covenant made. If they don't make any moves, you watch that too. Because knowing what your enemy is and isn't doing is just as vital as knowing anything else. Well, if they start doing something, then you try to find out what and report back. But you're not always meant to go in guns blazing, Spartan style, kid. I know we drop out of orbit in a metal coffin, but not every second of the job is that exciting. Trust me, you'll be wishing you were sitting in an alley once we really get into it. Covenant bastards don't know when to quit these days. Yeah, you really would think they'd start running out of troops at some point, but those little grunt bastards breed like rabbits, first of all. And secondly, they outnumbered us 20 to 1 when this all started back on Harvest. Nah, I wasn't there, but I knew some boys who were, and they said the situation broke down faster than a cracked slipspace drive. Just think, those negotiations, if you could call them that, are apparently what broke down in this war overall, and now we're dealing with the elites and backing them up. Kinda funny how shit comes full circle, but hey, not gonna hear me complain. Enemy of my enemy, kid. Remember that. I'm gonna save both your life and your ammo. Speaking of ammo, how you looking? BR-55 battle rifle can burn through mags quickly if you're not careful, so you want to double check where you're at every so often. Now, not like an MA-5B assault rifle where you can just pick up a small armory and carry it on your back. M7 Silenced SMG was a good choice though, for orbiting close quarters. Last thing you want is a brute crawling up your ass and not having the room to fire at it. Despite what you might have been told by some of the vets, you can't fist fight one of those apes and win. You might get a hit in or two, but you're just gonna piss it off at the end of the day. And honestly, you'll be lucky to survive the process. Now, you see one of those big ape bastards charging you, you start backpedaling and fill its ugly face full of lead. If you're working with something precise like your BR-55, aim for its face and it'll go down like a sack of bricks. MA-5B or M7 will turn into Harriger otherwise, but it's easier to take them out before they risk getting that close to tear your face off. Yeah, I know you got a lot of this through boot training, but this is a lot of little stuff that you gotta learn in the moment, Private. For example, if you're trying to deal with a wall of jackals, it's easier to scatter the stupid chickens with a grenade than try to shoot through their tiny asshole they use to shoot back at you. Even if the frag doesn't get any of them, they'll scatter like a flock of chicken at KFC, and you'll have a chance to pop a few of them, which makes their defensive line that much weaker. The sniper chickens are a bit trickier, since putting your head out there risks them blowing it off for you. Before you say it, Private, don't think you're faster than some hyper-advanced bird that can jump 2 or 3 stories in the air. Seen way too many troopers think they can make that shot and die trying. Your best bet is to let your visor scan the area before you head in, but that doesn't always catch them if their little bastards are tucked in a crevice somewhere out of sight. Or if you're on a day operation in this urban kind of setting, Private, where would you expect the jackal snipers to be sitting? Yeah, that's what I thought. Same as any other sniper's mentality. Up. Typically very up in their case. Issue is, they can jump and move so quickly that there may be one where there wasn't a few minutes prior. So, you gotta keep your eyes peeled for that purple glow of their helmets and you should be fine. Scrawny things can't take a bullet to save their lives, so a quick pop from something like an M6 or a BR-55 will eliminate them without any issue. Long story short, Private, just try to see them before they see you, for your own sake. I hate bugs. Oh, speaking of bugs, Private, you ever run into the... what did Command call them? The drones. That's what it... Nah, lucky you. Let me save you both pain and some ammo with this little tip. If you get the chance, shoot their own shit back at them. Command says to use only UNSC hardware when given the opportunity, but plasma burns through those bugs like a hot knife through butter. That would conserve your own ammo as well if you just keep picking up whatever alien gun they drop when you manage to fry one of them. Just watch how much you're using it. Covey's put a heat sensor on those guns for a reason, and you don't want third-degree plasma burns for the rest of your operation. Shit stings like no tomorrow. Though, lately the buggers have been coming equipped with their own personal shield generators like the elites and the brutes get. How the hell they stuff that kind of tech onto their tiny-ass little bodies, I will never know. But facing a swarm of the shield with little bastards is probably one of the most terrifying things I've seen in recent years. If you've got one of their own plasma guns, solves the shield problem and the bug problem at the same time.
No.
But last I checked, plasma tech isn't standard issue for the UNSC right now, so we gotta repurpose off the dead. Yeah, I know the Spartans get personal loadouts with Covenant weaponry, but we ain't Spartans, first of all, and secondly, Spartans are dropping into some scenarios where they need every specialized skill and piece of tech they can get. I don't know what kind of shit they're getting themselves into, but hey, if it ends the war, I won't argue. What, you think just because we're UNSC we can't use some enemy hardware to leg up? Kid, what do you think the spooks over at ONI do besides sit in the shadows and twiddle their fingers maliciously? Research and development has been reverse engineering Covenant tech since this war started, and hell, that's where we got our own shield technology. From what I heard, anyway. ONI figured out how to take and slap down the Spartans as soon as possible. Heard another crew of Helljumpers got to help test it by shooting at the super soldiers, but that was a sight for both sides involved. I'm not even natively from Earth, kid, but I signed up pretty damn fast come Defender. Humanity started here, Yeah, we tend to abuse her, but she's ours. Every drop of rain, every piece of dirt and mud that we're crawling through to fight for, it's all ours. Some folks enlist because they've got nowhere else to go. Others enlist for the idea of glory or fighting the good fight, but regardless of why, kid, we all end up marching and dropping into hell for the same goal. Getting these alien bastards out of our colonies and off our asses. I'm not the most religious man you'll ever meet, but I've had a gut feeling we're gonna win this war at the end of the day. This ain't where humanity dies, thrashing in the mud with some super intelligent ape who thinks a space ring is that taken to salvation. As poetic as that might sound, we're more likely to take ourselves out in a few centuries just with infighting from the inner colonies again. So, this war? We'll come on top. I promise you. Roger. Thank you.
Alright, kid. Looks like we're trying our objective. That should just a few clicks off, so it's a short walk.